What's happening, guys? Veggie here, and today I'm going to show you some simple drills at home you can do on a grappling doll to keep your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills intact. Now, a lot of these are white belt related submissions, guard advances that I've learned in my classes that I'd like to practice on this dummy here. So armbar from guard, what you want to do is first break the posture. So you want to grab his arm with the same side of your arm. Want to clamp down with your opposing hand so it's tight, so he can't release his grip. Now bring his arm to your opposing shoulder, and now from here you want to actually start pivoting. So place your foot on the hip, your leg needs to be clamped in, your opposing leg needs to clamp his back down to break his back posture. Now from here, all you'll do is pivot and then bring this leg over here, over his head, and then you'll just want to do the hip thrust and get the submission. So it should be as simple as your head needs to go there, and this leg needs to come through there, like so. Now from here, grab the arm with both your hands, and then just hip thrust until you'd get the submission. Once it feels tight, you're pretty confident you got the submission. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to do the Kimura from guard. So on your grappling dummy. So what you'll want to do is simply break the posture with your crossed feet. You want to push using your legs to clamp his back down, and then he will throw his arms out, and that's when you'll grab the arm. So like that. Now what you want to do, grab the arm you want to get the Kimura on, maybe hip escape a bit so you've got some room. You want to hip escape, grab the arm, the other arm, your opposing arm, you want to go through, over and under, and you want to grab your wrist. Then all you want to do from here is bring this hand to meet his head essentially, but a key note you want to do is use your elbow to clamp his back down at the same time. So you want to keep the pressure there. So while you're doing this, it's nice and tight. And that is how you do the Kimura from guard. We're going to take a little break from submissions and we're going to do some simple guard passes. So this one is just getting into side control. So imagine the dummy has their legs wrapped around you and they've got you in their guard. What you'll want to do is you want to raise one leg and you want to break you essentially want to use a knee slide to get through. So to do this, I'm going to raise my left leg, and then I'm going to push his knee down on the opposite side, and this will give me room to use my knee to glide through into side control. So I'm now going to use my knee. It's going to glide through. I'm going to be reaching, and I'm going to be going through into side control from here. But I'm going to keep this foot in place. My right foot here will be in place. My left one here will be the one allowing me to get into the side. So this leg is going to come out, but I'm still controlling the other leg. So from here, once I'm confident I'm on my side, I can release both legs and come into side control with a nice wide base. You also want to make sure this hand is coming through the arms. This one is going through the head. So from here, you want to rest all your body weight onto the dummy's chest so you're confident they wouldn't escape. So that is just a simple guard advance of getting into side control. I'm going to show you from a front angle so you can see exactly how I'm doing it on both legs. Notice how my legs are wide and all my weight is on the dummy. Drilling this will eventually ingrain into your subconscious mind, and it just keeps good habits there so you don't forget them. Here comes some more fun. So we're going to do some submissions from mount, starting with the armbar. So what we're going to do is one hand on the chest, other hand's coming over and into his chest, like this. Now once you're confident you have this position, make sure you put weight on the dummy, posing leg up. You want to keep your butt on the dummy so you've got weight. Stop them from moving, essentially. Now what you want to do is bring that posing leg over. Make sure you keep a grasp of the arm as you do so. This leg needs to go over the head. Lean on the opposite side. And then fall back. And then just hip thrust until you get the submission. So now we're going to do a Kimura from mount. A Kimura from mount is very simple to Kimura from guard in the way you control your wrist to do it. So what you can do is bring the dummy's arm down, bring it towards his torso, so his elbow needs to meet essentially his hip. And from here, you're going to try and grab your wrist here. So as you can see, over and under. I've got my wrist here. And all I do is twist my wrist until I get a relatively comfortable submission. Very simple. Kimura from mount. So I'm sure a lot of you are aware with the lapel choke from guard, all you want to do is grab opposite ends of the lapels in as far as you can around the neck. Then what you want to do is make sure your elbows are tucked tight inwards. You want to bring them in and go through like that. Never wide like this. Wide means it'll take a lot more strength to get it. It's very inefficient to get a lapel choke. You want to be narrow, and you want to just cut through. So I'll show you now. This would be a lapel choke. Also practice bringing your body up because you can apply more pressure that way, like so. This is also a great abdominal exercise if you wanted to do some ab workouts. So that is very simple, lapel choke from guard. So in this one, you guys, I'm going to show you a lapel choke. And this one, you're essentially going to need to use two lapels. So I'm wearing my gi, and I'm going to give a belt to use as a lapel for the dummy's gi. If you have a second gi, even better, if you can try and wrap it round. So these are two lapels here. I'm going to show you how to do the next one on the dummy. So with this one, it's quite simple. Grab one side of the lapel with the opposite hand. Grab the end of your lapel here. What you want to do is bring it over the head and then pull their lapel while you pull yours. Now as you can tell, the dummy's head is really fat, so it's hard for me to anchor my arm through, but it still works. Just to show you guys again, opposite side of the lapel, grab your lapel on that same side, and you're going to pull it through the opposite. So you want to hook over and then pull through. Now obviously, like I said, the dummy's head is fat, so you might struggle with this one. So I try and just use my finger to do it. And then I grab it with my wrist. Definitely feels like one of the more uncomfortable lapel chokes to practice on a grappling dummy. That is yet another lapel choke from guard. So the lapel choke from mount is quite simple. All you want to do is you'll want to punch through the opposite side with your lapel and then pull on the same side. So you're punching through and pulling. This lapel choke takes a lot more strength than the other ones, so it is one of those ones that isn't as efficient in achieving. So you're punching through and you're pulling at the same time. Punch through, pull. Punch through, pull. Just get used to that motion. So that's one lapel choke from mount. And what I'm going to do next is show you the other one. Now the other one, you actually need to be wearing a gi. With this one, all I'm going to do is grab the wrist of my gi and then just slice through. So I'm grabbing over the head and then cutting the head with essentially the blade of the opposing hand, like so. You also want to try and hide them from seeing you doing this, so I usually bring your head to their head. Try and block their view. So head, arm goes through. You want to then try and cover their view, and then grab your wrist at the same time. And while you've got that position, you can bring yourself up and then slice through. That's one of the most brutal lapel chokes you can do using your own lapel. So I think we've done a pretty good session. We've gone through some submissions you can do on the dog, and some guard advances, and some simple lapel chokes. Now obviously the white belt curriculum probably has tons more you could be using. This is just my experience of doing some very basic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've only been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a year, so I'm showing you some of the stuff I know. I look forward to using my other doll for some very takedown variations that I've learned from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Anyway, you guys, I'll see you in that next video. Peace.